Boruto's future has been in question ever since Momoshiki uttered these words.
Heed this warning. Beware, for those blue eyes shall eventually take everything from you.
But what exactly does that mean, and is this in reference to the Jougan? You see, with the release of Boruto chapter 78, it kinda cements the idea that Momoshiki was not referring to the Jougan, and it might be something else. It might be something very simple, at least at face value, but there is a deeper meaning to what Momoshiki said, which is what we're going to focus on in today's video. Now, to quote the exact words used by Momoshiki, he said that those blue eyes shall eventually take everything from you. Now, the key thing we need to extrapolate from this is the use of the words blue eyes, because even though the Jougan is referred to as being silver, it does have a bluish tint, which is what led to fans assuming that this was referring to the Jougan. But this doesn't appear to be the case. In chapter 78 of Boruto, when Boruto finally lost one of his eyes due to Kawaki, Momoshiki explained that Boruto finally lost one blue eye, which means that when Momoshiki said that Boruto had blue eyes, he was referring to multiple eyes, which means more than one, which was a big issue with the Jougan theory since Boruto only had one Jougan and still has one Jougan in the time skip timeline. And based on what's happening currently in Boruto, Boruto has started to lose it all. He has started to lose everything that means the most to him, with Naruto and Hinata being gone, with him now losing one of his eyes, and Kawaki seemingly ending someone close to Boruto in one of Boruto's visions. All of this is happening absent of the Jougan, so the Jougan can't be what Momoshiki was referring to. Now this leads us into what I think Momoshiki actually meant, and by blue eyes, I think Momoshiki meant that Boruto was naive or innocent. This is because according to Collins Dictionary and multiple other websites, the term blue-eyed is an idiom that actually means a person is naive or innocent. And of course, when you say someone is naive, you mean they show a lack of judgment, wisdom, and experience, which applies to Boruto in this case. So basically what this means is that Momoshiki is using a double entendre, which is a literary device that uses one statement to convey two very different meanings. So on one hand, Momoshiki is literally saying that Boruto has two blue eyes that will lead to him losing everything. But at a deeper level, this is happening because of Boruto's naivete, Boruto not being able to accept reality. Whether it be the reality of Kawaki being a danger to everyone around him, which of course includes himself since Kawaki has now tried to kill him twice. And since Momoshiki saved Kawaki in the recent chapter, it's very clear that Momoshiki is using Kawaki to destroy Boruto's life. He's using Kawaki's ignorance and Kawaki's naivete, and also his arrogance and obsession with protecting Naruto, to unironically take everything from Boruto, which would lead to Boruto reverting to a corner of his psyche, which would then allow Momoshiki to take full control. So in a way, Kawaki, by trying to stop Momoshiki, is what leads to Momoshiki taking further hold in Boruto's body. Or you could look at it another way, it could be from Kawaki's perspective instead. Boruto is the one that causes him to lose everything because he's too selfish to die. And don't get me wrong, Boruto did try doing that before, and he allowed Kawaki to end him back in chapter 67 or 66. But then when he came back, he didn't tell Kawaki to do it again because he felt like he had more control over Momoshiki's power. But even then, Momoshiki stated that he will be able to take control of Boruto's body periodically. So in that time when Momoshiki takes control, he still has the opportunity to kill multiple people, especially those closest to Boruto, and that's exactly Kawaki's worry. He doesn't want that to be Naruto. So even though Boruto did sacrifice himself to protect everyone in the village from Momoshiki, he doesn't really seem keen on doing it again, especially after what happened in the recent chapter. He was actively defending himself from Kawaki. He doesn't want to die, he wants to live. So something has shifted in Boruto post-resurrection, which you could argue is a good thing. No one wants their main character to want to die, but you can argue that it's a bad thing when it comes to the safety of everyone in the village. So Boruto at this point in time isn't really thinking about everyone, he's thinking about himself. And this naive belief of Boruto thinking that he has full control of Momoshiki and Momoshiki's power could lead to his downfall. And the funny thing about this is that it was referenced in a recent chapter of Boruto when Momoshiki confronted Boruto and basically asked him why did he tell Hinata that everything is going to be okay, and why doesn't he understand that he will not survive, that Momoshiki will take over his body. But Boruto believes that no one will determine his destiny, and he decides what will happen, and he will never succumb to Momoshiki. But Momoshiki is certain that he will reign supreme, that he will gain control of Boruto's body. So it kinda seems that Momoshiki did see a future in which that happened, but unbeknownst to Momoshiki, it could be that that future was not set in stone. It could be that there are multiple futures, multiple possible futures, and it could be that the Jougan, the Eye of Hope, has the ability to change one's destiny, and it might possibly have the power to suppress Momoshiki as well, to prevent him from taking control of Boruto's body ever again. Now, if this is the case, the interesting question would be, why does Momoshiki not have knowledge about the Jougan or Boruto possessing the Jougan? Now, if you go based on the anime continuity, Momoshiki did see Boruto use the Jougan when they initially had that brief tussle. But when you go to the manga continuity, Boruto has never used the Jougan, not even once in the manga. Now, you could actually argue that Boruto did use the Jougan in chapter 1 when they reference the time skip timeline, but that's the time skip which is the future. We're now in the past or the present. And in the present, the current timeline, Boruto has not used the Jougan and he didn't use it on Momoshiki. So it just doesn't line up with the continuity. But let's say we do merge the continuities. Let's say the manga is the same as the anime and the anime is the same as the manga. So Boruto did in fact use the Jougan against Momoshiki, and Momoshiki has knowledge of Boruto using this dojutsu. He should be aware of what the Jougan is capable of, since he also stated in a recent chapter that he has knowledge on all Shinjutsu. So if the Jougan has the ability to change one's future or change one's destiny, then he should know that Boruto's destiny is not concrete, it's not set in stone. And of course, if Momoshiki is able to see the future as he claims, then he should be able to see that Boruto does win their battle, and he should see that Boruto is in control. So what this implies is that there are further limitations to what Momoshiki can see, aside from him not being able to see his own destiny. Now you could argue, and I think it's a very logical argument, that since Boruto would be the one winning their tussle or tug of war, then Momoshiki would indeed lose, and that would also show Momoshiki's destiny to lose to Boruto. And since Momoshiki can't see his own destiny, then this would explain why he's unable to see that this is what happens. Either way, I think it's a very interesting theory that the naivete is what leads to Boruto's downfall, which I do understand why people look at it as someone being naive, although I think that Boruto has made the right decision, to be honest, in my honest opinion. But I can see where people are coming from with Boruto being somewhat like Naruto. They're both naive in that sense, but I guess we'll see how that plays out. With that being said, give me your thoughts on the video itself and your thoughts on Boruto being naive and this is what leads to him losing everything. And do you agree with Kawaki's side? Are you team Kawaki or are you team Boruto? Do you think that Boruto is doing the right thing or that Kawaki is doing the right thing? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. And also drop a like if you like the video and subscribe to the channel if you are new. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out.